Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. And tonight we have our usual Friday night slot, which is the official iRacing European Strength of Field race. I'm Clyde Whiting, and in the booth with me tonight is Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Clyde. Should be a great race.
Yeah, it should be. And doing the bells and whistles in the background, as usual, is Mr. Sam Boozin. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, Bill. Hello, everyone.
So, Pete, Lime Rock Park. We've raced here earlier in the season in V8 ESC. It's not a difficult track. But the new chicane at the bottom of the hill certainly caused me a few code browns. What do you make of the track?
It's a tight track. Like you say, it's not massively difficult. Once you've figured out each of the corners, which doesn't take too long, you just stitch them all together and just keep doing it over and over again. And you do a lot of laps around here because we're doing like 51.5-second lap. It's not the longest lap in the world. It's certainly going to be exciting. That chicane going up the hill, I dislike furiously. I preferred it when it swept up the hill. And the little red things that you'll see on your screens if you're watching Lime Rock Park for the first time are pure evil, and they want to rip your wheels off if you go over them. And you do get damage. You do get incidents, and it will damage the car if you go over them directly.
And interesting you said there, Pete, about stitching a lap together. That is one of the tricky things on this track. And also, we've got a 20-plus car grid tonight. There's going to be cars all over the place on the track. How difficult is it going to be to find some clean track and actually stitch that lap together?
Lime Rock Park, like I said, quite a short lap. With the amount of cars, we're just watching Sam Devantier absolutely mash his car to pieces. With this many cars on track, going at these kind of speeds, laps tick over really quickly, and it'll feel pretty much like you're pushing the next car in front of you around the track in a big conga style race. If it splits up, it'll form little tiny pods. There's very few places to safely overtake, in my personal opinion. I know the winners in these cars tonight will be far more capable than I, and they'll find new and interesting opportunities to pass on this track that I've just not got the skill.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. And it's one of them tracks that you don't get a break. There isn't a phenomenally long straight or just a section of the track where you can relax. It's pretty relentless, and then with the number of cars on track as well, it's going to make it even more relentless.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a mentally tiring track necessarily, but you don't get a long straight to play with, and look at your telemetry, look at how far back the car behind you is. If either triple screens and your relatives not immediately in front of your face, it's constant, and your arms are pumping away fighting the wheel. There's a few turns like the one that Jean-Philippe Chevalier has just been around, the last turn, where it feels off camber and your car wants to slide and it wants to swap ends, and if you get on that's the end of that. You'll end up in pit lane, ironically, because you end up snapping back across the track and aiming towards pit wall. It's a constant fight, and there's no peace on this track. Even if you're on your own, not racing in a group, it's a constant fight.
Yeah, it's certainly a track that like you say, even if you're on your own, you can end up beating yourself up. So we've got just over a minute left of qualifying. We've currently got Nicole Foggy on pole, Henry Makula on second, Johnny Brandon third. Now, last week we was at Imola, and we had an absolutely awesome race all the way to the end, with a drag race to the line at the end. Unfortunately, last week's winner, Marco Nemela, isn't with us tonight. I know he's watching the broadcast. I know he's got a dodgy knee, or so he says. I think he's just making that up to try and get out of the race. But yeah, so we're going to have a new winner this week. And just looking at the grid, you know, there are some names on there that we haven't seen before, but there's quite a few there that, you know, you could pick the winner from.
Oh, without a doubt. Nicole Foggy was quick round here in one of the races I've raced with him recently. Johnny Brandon, always quick. I don't know whether this is one of his favourite tracks. I can't remember what he said about this one.
I don't think any of them are Johnny's favourites, are they, when you talk to him?
No. Steve Valley is handy round here. He likes these tracks where it's a constant fight and very competitive. I thought Rich Warmingham would be higher up the grid than he is, and we're about to start gridding, I think.
Yeah, and just on that point you made about Nicole Foggy, yes, probably the fastest driver on the track tonight, but we've seen over the last couple of weeks he is prone to a mistake.
He certainly is. I think it was probably a rage spin and quit when we were at I can't remember where we were now. He came out the last turn and binned it.
Okay, let's quickly run through the grid, Pete. Pole position for Nicole Foggy, second Henry McCool, third Johnny Brandon, fourth Sam Devantier, fifth Steve LaValle, sixth Rich Warmingham, seventh and Woodward, eighth Stephen Walker, ninth Harold Stadler, nice to see Harold in the race, and 10th Dean Flavel.
I don't know whether I'll have time to go through the rest, but we've got Michael Frost, he's way up there this time in 13th, Lane O'Connor in 14th, Jean-Philippe Chevalier in 15th, Connor Green in Sean Daly in 17th, Tony Walker in 18th, Erwin Lucas Liskovich, apologies for pronunciations, in 19th, Fabian Perot in 20th. And then I'll stop because we're going to go to green.
We are
we'll catch up with the red.
Almost gridded. We're just waiting for the lights. Cracking field of 26 cars again. Any moment now, you'll hear the revs rise. Nicole Foggy looking for that perfect getaway. Lights are coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's the green flag. We are racing. Great start from Nicole Foggy.
Yeah, he's gapped him. Johnny Brandon up the inside there. Takes second place.
Got somebody going.
Who's that?
That was a great
that
save.
Henry?
I think that's Henry, yeah, with the bright lime green car.
Yeah.
If I remember from last week. Cracking save. What you'd expect from a Finn. There's our teammate, Mike Frost in there.
Yeah, he's doing a great job so far. Some interesting paint jobs further back that we've not seen before as well, I think.
Yeah, very
Sean
clean as well
Daly.
so far, which is good.
Yeah,
We have got a
Sean Daly.
blinker in field.
We have, and he's not rear. We've got someone reversing off the track. Oh, he's back now. He's got a bit of a damp.
I think that may have been caused by the blinker.
Right.
Not 100% sure, but the car blinked out in front, then there was a crash.
But we've got a three-way drag across that line. Just where's Nicole Foggy?
So Foggy, where is Nicole Foggy?
He's not on. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
right.
that's
Okay.
why. It's because those two have broken away.
I honestly didn't think you could get that much of a lead in one lap.
No,
That's epic.
no, I thought it disappeared.
Yeah, I did. Good effort, boys. I mean, that's just a ridiculous lead. Okay, so here we've got Ant Woodward. He's staring at the back of Harold Stadler's car, who is also very handy around a lot of these tracks. Cody Meadow looking like he's got first-hand front and a second-hand rear end.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the car's third hand.
Oh, and we've got a proper shunt going on.
Yeah.
We've got a phantom spinner in Erwin Lucas Luskovitz. There's no, that is him as well with no boot. Anybody selling spares for these V8 Supercars is going to do a great trade today. Oh, this is the replay, I think.
Yeah.
Stefan Herbst just about missing. And he's disconnected from the serve, but and that was the last we saw.
Where everything concertinas up, and I think everybody was just a little bit too late on the brakes.
Yeah, and like I said, that chicane, it really does slow the field right up, and we saw clear evidence of that just there. Stephen Walker hunting down Mike Frost.
So the front two have got a hell of a breakaway on at the moment.
Yeah, they're massively in front now. 4 seconds they've got over the rest of the field. And even Nicole has separated himself from Johnny by a second and a half at least. The action's very much back here though, with Steve Lavallee fighting off Henri Maikula. Rich Warmingham getting a bit tasty with Sam Devante.
Yeah,
Wow,
and we've got a 35 lap race tonight, so it's a bit of a sprint race. There's not going to be any fuel stops. It's just going to be fast and furious for 35 laps.
Yeah, I was saying before the race that it's a bit like flying fighter jets around a teacup around this track. It's tight, and these are beasts, these cars. The acceleration is immense. If you can get it all hooked up and you get the traction you need and you don't wear the tyres out, it's certainly a very exciting lap to run around like we were talking about before.
Yeah, so Anne Woodward at the moment puts some pressure on Harold Stadler for 7th. Rich Warmingham seems to have got a little bit of fresh air between him and Harold.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of road in front of them, isn't there? You can just about see Johnny Brandon disappear around the first corner there with a giant amount of over the car behind. Oh, we've got an overtake here. Tony Walker.
Yeah, Tony Walker. He's going to put that down the inside, hopefully get it stopped.
Oh, that doesn't always work to your favour.
Yeah, that was one of them, wasn't it, where he had to get it stopped, and unfortunately that means stopping on the apex, and the car behind, Sean Daly, just didn't have anywhere to go, but they both kept it on the track, so well done.
Mustang's a popular car in this particular race.
It certainly is in this little gaggle of cars here, anyway.
So looking back from Sean Daly's car, he's about to turn onto the dive down the hill and then round the last turn, and hope you get spat out of that with some momentum, because you're easy prey once you get it wrong coming out of that last turn.
It's probably one of the worst turns on this track, because like you say, it's very easy to get wrong and very hard to get right. Bit of sideways action there by Emmanuel Wolf. Yeah, just going back to that last turn. When you get it right, you know you've got it right.
Yeah, and you can just plant the gas.
Yeah, you can either go too slow or too safe and not carry enough speed out, or carry too much speed in and it just wants to spit you out on the left.
Yeah, and when you get on the left, you will correct, and you'll end up on the right hand side, and it probably in pit a couple of times. Yeah,
so Antwood would still put pressure on Harold Stadler, and Dean Flavel's in this little battle with him, just waiting for an opening. Maybe see if he can take them both at the same time, if there's a little mistake somewhere. But I think they are actually catching.
Oh, we've got a bit of an over. Is that an overtake or a lap?
That must be a back marker, because that isn't.
Oh!
What happened there?
The back
Just being
marker
moved
lost it.
sideways.
Yeah. And that is Ross Brockman.
So he's on the, yeah, he just got it on the grass.
You only need one tyre off with this car and it's really unforgiving.
He did well though, he didn't hit anybody and didn't hit anything, so...
Yeah, he's boxed in the car now to get some repairs.
Yeah.
Dean Flavel's dropped off the back of Ant Woodward now, and I think that crash was something to do with that. Because I think that was a code brown for Dean as well as it was for
our favourite paint scheme.
Brockman. Oh, that is nice, isn't it? Yeah, Marco Lower. I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry.
Probably. No, not probably. Definitely.
Definitely, yeah. So, Shane Powell giving some serious attention to Sean Daly, who we were bored with not that long ago. Oh, he's right in there. If he can pull alongside here, he's got... This is a good overtaking attempt. This. Oh, and he's backed off it.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing there.
Yeah. You take that line into the last corner and you do end up washing quite wide. Although he's held that very well.
A hell of an overspeed.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
That should be fairly easy, yep.
Yeah. Although he was very wide there, which means... Oh, that's what happens. He's been turned. Yeah. Shane Powell nudged round by Mr. Might be some colourful words inside that helmet.
Just have a look
good
at
overtake
that
as well.
again. Yeah, he got it done.
And then the undercut
Yeah, he
came
had
into
to
play.
come out on the brakes. Yeah, that's
Race
50-50
really.
that one, yeah.
So
we've got
Sean,
3 out at the moment. We've got Stefan Herbst, Mike Frost is out. I don't know what happened to Mike. And Cody Meadows as well.
Cody Meadows had a significant amount of damage on his car at the very start. He was one of the ones with no boot lid. Sorry, folks.
That could have been horrible.
It could. Marco probably took the best route there, to be honest. He only got a slowdown and an incident, but it was probably worth the divert.
So, Sam, let's have a look at some of our new runners, shall we? Fabian Prario, we've not seen him before, and Connor Green. Looks like they're nearly on the same piece of track.
Yeah, Fabian's been less than adventurous with his paint scheme.
Yeah, it didn't take too much time for that one, did it?
No.
Yeah, Connor Green is another one that we haven't seen before in the series. There's Connor.
Yeah, currently in 14.
Yeah, he was the one that had the dodgy connection, so...
I hadn't noticed.
Yes. Who else haven't we seen before? Sean Daly.
He's been in the thick of the action so far. He's,
currently in 17th position.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Wolf. There we are, in 19th. We see Emmanuel with a bit of action earlier. Shane Powell behind him is another new driver. I'll have a go at this one for you, Pete. Erwin Liskovic.
That's pretty good, actually. That's better than my first attempt.
Minus half of his car. But he's still going. And then behind...
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
We got going. We've got a bit of a car park here.
Yeah. McDonald, he's another new racer to us. Oh, Lane's on the inside of it.
Yes. That was like a welcome to the series, shall we say, from Lane.
Yeah, he got mobbed, didn't he? There was literally cars all around him.
Yeah, and then Ross Brockman, who we see earlier on, is our final new guy for this season, I was going to say, for tonight's race. So back into the action. Dean Flavel, another paint job that we really like. Somebody's, I don't know whether they was meaning to go in the pits there, but they ended up that way.
Yeah, that could have been anything. So yeah, Emmanuel Wolf with damage to the left rear quarter panel on his car.
Yeah,
Getting a bit crossed over again.
just a flesh wound, I think.
Yeah,
Nothing
cosmetic
serious.
fatigue. Yeah. Digital.
But Shane Powell is staying with him. Back to this battle with Dean. We've got.
Lights flashing. What's
on
that?
there. Here we go. That means trouble.
Oh, that's a new line through that.
Yeah, I think he was just keeping out of the way, to be fair.
Right. Yeah, fair enough.
So Kevin Dual, Marco Loert, and leading them all is Dean Flavel. So nice little battle there. Stephen Walker in front of them has got himself into a little bit of space. Not sure what happened to Ant Woodward. He was pressuring Harold Stadler, but he's now down in 13th.
Yeah, he's lost quite a few places. This is the replay of Y. Bit of gardening, doing the verge. Easily done around here, though.
Yeah,
there's quite a few corners where you end up landscaping. Oop. Shane Powell, and is that Emmanuel Wolf again?
Yeah.
With the leader coming through.
They've been battling for a while. Too wide with the leader behind them there.
Yeah. And look at the lead he's got.
Yeah, Foggy's got Brandon.
Yeah, he has. Big time.
We've got an XVR 123 at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, Nicole's going to have to pick his way through this lot very carefully. There's been a lot of door banging already. He has, yeah. Threaded the needle. And then Johnny Brandon will follow that path. So the leader always suffers the most, doesn't he?
Yeah,
everybody's battling, and
yeah.
then all of a sudden, what's this guy doing coming up this fast behind me? It's the bloke that's lapping you.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, once the first one comes past, then the guys are a bit more switched on then.
Yeah. So that was a replay of the gaggle incident. So Dean Flavel ahead of Kevin Dual.
Yeah, they seem to have dropped Marco a little bit, so it's down to a two-car battle. Another two out, A.M. McDonald, unfortunately, and Sean Daly.
Yeah. McDonald was having a bit of a struggle. He was the one that was turned by Lane coming around the corner we've just been through in the gaggle traffic.
Hopefully them guys come back again.
Yeah.
Bit of a baptism of fire around this track in this car.
So with some of these guys that they're racing with, yeah, some of these are seasoned veterans.
Oh yeah, and we're halfway through already.
Just flies by, doesn't it?
100 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's not helping these guys.
Ooh, no. So for anyone new to racing or iRacing, hot tracks make slippy tracks, and very hard to brake safe and maintain your traction.
Yeah, there's a battle brewing behind these three with Marco, Lane and Woodward.
Yeah, that could be good.
I think Ant is probably quicker than these two from his running earlier on.
Yeah, especially if Lane sticks his wheels over the side like that.
Yeah, Lane is desperately trying to rub the XVR off the side of his car.
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, there's a stigma, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, Ant's. Ooh, a bit of a wiggle there from Tony Walker. Well, that's red hot tyres, that isn't. And the leader in the background as well. Oh, and he's melted his tyres.
Yeah. Once you got them back tyres to jelly, that's it.
Yeah. Is this the replay? Yeah, this is the replay. Oh, maybe not. It's a different replay.
This is Ant having a go at Lane.
Yeah. Again.
Well defended.
Oh, there's a car right off on the right hand side. There must be a back marker that everybody's lapping.
Yeah, so. Oh.
Took the nose right off that simability car. Good close racing from these two from the V8 ESC League.
Yeah, they might just let Marco get away from him though if Lane has to drive defensive.
But to your point before, these guys are catching the cars in front.
Yeah,
There's a back marker in there.
Yeah, that's not Kevin Duval in front of Marco, so that must be a back marker.
Yeah. Ooh, blimey, crikey,
hold on,
what you
quick.
doing, mate? Good catch, but you've got no speed now. Just shows how much the track temperature is playing into. Because he was fully crossed up there.
Yeah, and it's all over the back of Lane, but you know, as you rightly said at the start, it's not an easy track to pass on.
No, it's not. You've kind of got to wait for a mistake, and the mistakes are free and frequent around here. Lane's gone very deep there, and he's wiggly coming out of that. He's got no traction. Ant's going to put his car on the inside here.
Run. You should get this done from here.
Oh, he's not got a good line through this though. So he's going to have to take a lift.
Slow out of here and then losing it again into the next one. But no, I think he's done well there.
Yep. Lane's no mug, is he? He'd have had him if he could do so.
Yeah, but you know, just look how far Marco's got up the road with those two battling.
One squabble and you slow both cars down.
Yep.
Put a back marker in the mix in this occasion, and it's even more of an occasion.
So Nicole Foggy at the front has just started lap 23, so we're roaring through this race at the moment.
You said there's no pit stop in this one?
No, there shouldn't be a pit stop in this.
Okay.
Just a sprint race. Not even a full tank, I wouldn't have thought.
Right. So yeah, Henri Maikou.
He's trying to stop the XVR 123.
He is. That's Steve Lavallee in front of him in the XVR car, who's kept his car very clean, has to be said. All three of these guys have actually. Sam Devantier's car looks immaculate. Be interesting to see how this all pans out.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a battle that brews.
Well, we had that last time out, didn't we? And that was with Marco Namela last. Brewed right to the end. Was it Cody last time that was the guy who was racing with? Can't remember who it was now.
I can't think what the guy's name is now. Australian guy.
Yep.
So this little battle doesn't seem to be going away either. Dean Flavelle and Kevin Duell. They've been at it from the get-go. I think Kevin is probably getting a bit bored of looking at Dino on the back of that car.
Yeah.
I do like that paint job.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like that.
So just see in the background there, and Woodward is starting to claw back on Marco Luert.
Mm-hmm. The back marker getting well out of the way of that.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah, that is Ross Brockman, and to be fair, he's done very, very well with the traffic coming round.
Yep. Bit wobbly coming out of that.
Yeah, he nearly had an unforced pit stop there. Marco's on the light button again.
I know, it winds me
wear
up
that out
soon.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, that flash of the light scared him off the track.
Yeah. I don't like the flashing. I think they should get small electric shocks through their thumbs when they do that.
It'd be good if they could do something like every time you press the flashy light button, you lose 10 horsepower. That'd put a stop to it.
I had a car like that once. It was a canary yellow X-Reg Ford. It only had 996 engine in it. It was all.
I had a Ford Escort. I think it was a Mark III. That every time you turned the headlights on, the electric windows went down. So, lap 26, 10 laps to go. This is the battle that's brewing.
Yeah, and Sam's getting a bit fighty now, I think. His lines are looking a bit more aggressive.
We're missing the Kit Kat car.
But we are missing the Kit Kat car, the pink one.
Yeah. So this battle has been going on from pretty much lap 1. I think Ant Woodward is making a move. Yeah, just see that in the background.
Yeah, he got no traction coming out of that chicane. Can't think of the words.
So Ant still has got time to catch Kevin and Dean, especially as they're deep in battle.
Yeah, I think he will. Well, they are been holding position for a while, but with Ant coming up behind them now, it's probably given them reason to get.
Sam on the couple of wheels on the grass there.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I was in Sam's position now, I'd probably sit for a couple of laps, maybe 3, just so that Henry can concentrate on Steve Lavallee in front, and then start putting some pressure on.
Yeah, I don't know what sort of style racer he is. He's obviously very patient and a very clean racer. I think this one will go right to the last 3 or 4, and then it'll sort itself out. You got a back marker coming up anyway, so that might this into the mix. 2 back markers actually. That's not helped Sam Devantier, that one. He's gone very wide there onto the grass. He's lost a huge amount of track to Henry. And Henry is very much closer to the back of Steve's car. Maybe he's seeking an opportunity here with this next back marker. No, pass those in good order. He's still there, Clyde?
Sorry guys, technical problem there.
Yeah, thought so. Bit of flashing lights from Sam, bit of frustration with the 2 back markers there, getting in, or positioning their cars in unfortunate places, rather. I'm sure they weren't literally getting in.
These guys are still at it, which means Ant Woodward is still clawing them back.
He certainly is, yeah. This will help him immensely if this is a shot at an overtake, and it's not just showing his nose. He's going for this and that.
Yeah, that was brave, but he's got it done.
Still, he has. Good overtake there.
And Ant Woodward is right on the back of him now.
Look at the amount of time they've lost to him, if you know what I mean, or
yeah.
He's gained on that. That's immense.
It's just slowing each other down on that one corner where the overtake happened.
Yep.
And Marco, well, thank you. Corey Preston, that's the guy who's trying to think of.
Cheers, Marco. Yeah, he was good and fine. He was right at the front for most of the race.
Right, so Henry is said the same way as Henrik without the CK in the end. So that's Henry. Henry?
In other words, I'm saying it wrong by saying Henri.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do that every time I commentate anyway, so I'm not surprised. So, Steve, under some pressure now. From the way that you said it.
From Henry.
Oh dear, it shouldn't be that funny.
I'm sure he likes Henry better.
Yeah, defensive
Henri.
line from Steve. Yeah. The posh version.
I think if at the moment they've dropped Sam, they've got a gap to Sam, but if Steve Lavallee has to drive defensively, it's going to bring Sam back into this.
Yeah, the only reason Sam was back there is because there was the back markers that were unfortunately positioned for him.
Yeah, and they got another one now.
We climb up here. That red thing on the right there was the one that rips your wheels off if you. And they have got another one. Yeah.
Is that Connor Green?
Yes. Yep, you're right. Good eyes.
That was a guess.
I think it was a good one.
Still got his damage from earlier.
Oh, no. Shane Powell, that is.
Was it Shane Powell? Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
sorry,
good.
Shane. No. Sam has got under him. Ooh, sliding in front of him. But he's done it nonetheless. He didn't want to lose out to these guys, did he?
Yeah, Henry went full fin there.
Yeah.
And he's giving it proper beans now. But then he's got to, we've only got 3 laps to go. 3 laps at the end of this lap for these guys.
Yeah, Henry, he gridded higher up, didn't he? He's lost places to where he started, I think. One to Johnny Brandon.
Yeah, I think Henry started 3rd, if I remember rightly. He's probably lost out to...
He was 2nd off the grid, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just checked it, yeah. And I think Sam was
Johnny and Steve.
Yep. Bet he hates the look of XVR cars.
I think Ant Woodward might be up with Kevin Duell as well. Still a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah. That's Emmanuel Wolf
behind. Yeah, that was Emmanuel sideways in the background. So there is our race leader. And he's got a considerable lead as well over his teammate Johnny Brandon.
Yep, with a back marker in the middle. He doesn't have to lean on those outside tyres, doesn't he? It's impressive to see.
That was a different line through that corner as well. Different line to what I take anyway. Probably where I went wrong.
I was going to say, we take the slow line through all these corners. God, he just belts it through it. It'd be good to see an on board of one of his laps because it must be terrifying.
And there we are. Nicole Nicole Foggy wins the race.
This
Johnny
one's gone
Brandon comes in 2nd. Steve Lavallee's going to hold on to 3rd. Henry McCooler in 4th. Sam Devantier in 5th. Rich Warmingham minus his bonnet.
He's just done an overtake for that, hasn't he?
So, Rich Warmingham 6th, Harold Stadler 7th. Stephen Walker 8th. Kevin Dual in 9th. Ant Woodward 10th. Dean Flavel 11th. Marco Luert in 12th. Lane O'Connor. Oh, that was a good pit entrance, Mr. Foggy. Lane O'Connor in 13th. Connor Green 14th. Fabian Pario in 15th. Jean-Philippe Chevalier in 16th. Emmanuel Wolf in 17th. Tony Walker in 18th, and Erwin Liskovich in 19th. Shane Powell in 20th, and our final finisher, I believe, was Ross Brockman in 21st. So, Pete, that was fast and furious.
Yeah, I can't believe it's all over. I was expecting another 10 laps, to be honest. It's that frantic round here. It just vanishes super quick, doesn't it, at the time? What a race, though. It was brilliant.
Yeah, so, you know, the guys at the front, Nicole Foggy, Johnny Brandon, just breezed away. But, you know, the rest of the race, we had battles all the way through. Yeah, I agree, Marco, on the chat. I think we should call him Figgy. That's a lot better than Foggy. Because Foggy just sounds a bit murky. But yes, Pete, let's back to the race. I must stop watching the broadcast. Yeah, there was some absolutely fantastic battles. Good to see some of the new guys in. I know they all didn't finish, but hopefully they'll be back with us. We have Sam Devantier waiting for us in the interview room, so I shall drag him in and leave him all to you, Pete.
All right, thanks. Good evening, Sam. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
So, how did you find Lime Rock Park then? You finished 5th, you're going to be happy with that, surely?
I'm pretty happy with that. I did apologise to Henry at the start, well, at the end of the race, so for the tap at the start, so it is what it is.
Yeah, you were in the thick of it all the way through. Some back markers got in your way towards the latter half of the race. How did you find passing the back markers?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pass up cars here, so they don't really get out of your ways. It is what it is.
And what did you think of Lime Rock Park in terms of the new version of it with the chicane going up?
Well, honestly, it's quite tricky, honestly, so it's quite hard to do a good lap here, so I do like this Lime Rock, so yeah, it's challenging, let's just say that.
Yeah. And you had quite a long battle, staring at the back of Henri's car for most of it. I bet your eyes are bleeding now from the green. And the two leaders disappeared off down the road. Were you aware of how far the leaders were in front of everyone?
Yeah, I was pretty aware they were far ahead, so yeah. In my eyes, I'm pretty good actually. Just been out for like a week or so it's just my eyes are pretty good. So.
Okay, well, we're glad you were awake for it. Is there anybody you'd like to thank before you leave?
You guys, honestly, you put it in the broadcast for all the guys who are watching. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much, Sam. We flushed him.
Flushed. I don't know where he went. Okay. Now we have Mr. Johnny Brandon coming in the booth. Johnny Brandon, welcome to the booth.
Hello. Evening, guys.
So what are you going to do about your teammate then, mate?
I'm just going to start practicing now, aren't I?
He seemed to have that one sewn up from the get-go. He got a gap straight away and then never looked back. What did you do in the end? Was you trying to catch him, or did you sort of resign yourself to second place?
No, I resigned myself to second race pretty early. I hit the one of the curves for the chicane early on, and it cost me a bit of straight line speed. So, yep, Foggy had it in the back. I don't think I'd have caught him anyway, even if the car was. It was good fun. Shame some of the other quicker guys weren't there. But yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, Marco is he's playing on this knee injury. There's nothing wrong with him really, but you know, Tony's got his dodgy internet because he hasn't paid the bill. But from a team point of view, XVR 1, 2, 3. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, like I say, it wasn't the most exciting race in the world. But it was all right. You know, nice to have some people in there. It's spiced it up, having a bit of traffic. Some of that was interesting. And yeah, the more people, the merrier. It's a shame some don't seem to have even driven the car before they jump into the race, but yeah, it's up to them. And yeah, look forward to the numbers improving going forwards.
Yeah, just going back to the race, and you said, you know, it wasn't very exciting, especially for you guys up the front. But we had battles right through the field, and some went on from the green flag to the checkered flag. So, you know, from a broadcasting point of view, you know, it was an exciting race. Probably over a bit too quickly. I would have liked to have seen double the distance for this race, because it seems like we just got going and it was time to finish.
Let's have a short one for a change. The last couple have been quite long, and neither of us had even done a lap until about an hour before the race, an hour and a half before the race. So yeah, it was nice to have a short one with very little practice. I think Rich Warmingham did about 3 laps practice, so he did well. And Steve did well, yeah. So I mean, I know myself, Nico, and Steve probably had about an hour in the car before the race, hour and a half maximum. So yeah, quite happy with that.
So basically, from that, you're saying Lane let the team down.
Well, Lane always lets the team down. So I'm not going to single him out for that. You know, he's used to that. We're used to that. We live with it. We've got no choice.
Well, congratulations on your second place, and congratulations to the team for just dominating the podium there. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go, Johnny?
To you guys, obviously, for the broadcast as normal, doing wonderful things to get an official race in the European time zone with this car. If anybody's watching it and thinking about taking part, jump in. Everybody's welcome. The more the merrier. Power Max Racing, Immortal Virtual Racing Association, Host 365, all my teammates except for that blasted Nickel Foggy.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do some sort of off-season transfer and get rid of him, I think. Well,
I was telling him to change his brake bias, and he went, "Oh, I'm locking up." I said, "Yes, yeah, even more. Change it even more. Go further." But he wouldn't listen.
Well,
anyway,
thanks as always for joining us in the booth, Johnny. It's always good to chat with you. We'll let you go. We've got nobody else to interview, so we'll get wrapped up.
No worries. Nice one, guys. Thanks
Cheers.
again. See you next
Cheers,
time.
I managed to flush him. Excellent.
Excellent.
Getting good at this. Right, Pete, sum that sprint race up in as few words as you possibly can.
A fairly short but fully frantic and very exciting race from start to finish. No matter what Johnny thought about his quiet race, it certainly wasn't elsewhere. Good to see some new names, and some of the new names did really well. A great race and a great.
Right, I'm not going to disagree with you, Pete. I thought it probably is pretty boring when you're up the front, but you know, we did have a lot of action down the grid. So yeah, excellent race. I think next week we are back. I have absolutely no idea where it is, but I'm sure it's going to be a great race. For those of you that have stuck with us, we've got a bit of a special announcement from Backfire Simsport TV. We've been looking at options and leagues and things like that, and we can now confirm that we will be running a GT4 stroke TCR league for the coming season in iRacing. We will be following the iRacing schedule. Mr. Sam will be showing you a short video of what it's all about. But if GT4s and TCRs are your thing, there is a sign-up link, and come and sign up and come and enjoy the fun. It's going to be on a Wednesday evening, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Over to you, Sam. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. And we're off, guys. We are going.
Ooh, got a lock up from Mr. Holman there. He was chasing the car that I was just staring at. Jeremy Rogers, not a name that I know, but I'm sure other people do.
So far, he is awesome. I'm telling you, I can't believe how well he did.
So there it is, folks. There's the promo video for our new series starting in the new iRacing season. Backfire Simsport TV will be back on Monday with our Backfire podcast for the V8 ESC series. And we don't forget we've got our season 9 schedule reveal to come on the show. V8 action is back tomorrow night on Apex Racing TV with the V8 ESC endurance round from Brands Hatch. It just leaves me to say good night to everybody. Thanks to Pete, thanks to Sam. And thanks to you all for driving, watching, and supporting us. So, good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.